So for those of you who are CMALT holders and you're coming to collect your certificate, we will be calling you up one after the other and your name will be up there. And then we will ask you to please join us here on the stage. We have about 15 to 20 certified members to congratulate today. So you don't have to sit down, just stay with us. Sheila will congratulate you, and then we'll take a big group photo all together. And if you want to have an individual picture taken, our photographer can do that with you at the end. So please do stay up at the front and help us make a really big celebration at the end. If by any reason I have forgotten to put you on the list and you are a recent CMALT holder, there will be a moment at the end where anyone else who feels they would like to be congratulated for their CMALT can come up too. So apologize in advance if somehow I've missed you off the list. You are welcome and you can come up on the stage.
Okay, we'll get the AGM underway. So I'm Martin Weller, I'm the President of ALT, and welcome and thank you for coming.
Yeah, good afternoon everybody. I'm Sheila McNeill, I'm the Chair of ALT. So as Martin said, welcome everybody. Just before we get going, making this all happen. So they're all in the room, so I'm not going to name them individually, you know who you are, but I just want to make a special mention this year to Jane Southgate, because she does an awful lot for the conference. So I am going to name, not shame, but I'd just like you to come up, and can we all just give Jane a bit of a round of applause for all her work to getting this done. Thank you. Come on. So, just stand up, that's fine. Thank you. So, before we get going, just want to say a few formal welcomes to guests and visitors we have from other organisations. We have someone, I haven't seen or heard this man at the conference, but apparently he's here, Tom Farrelly from the Irish Association for Learning Technology. Great that we've got Tom here, and the GASTA sessions have been fantastic. We also have Ian Dolphin from the Apero Foundation. Hi Ian, thank you for being here. And also we want to just give a big wave, I think they're online, to our European colleagues at Eurocall. They had a conference last week, so hi there. And also we just want to say hello to all our members who are attending online as well. Just to sort of end this first part, we just want to share a few of the highlights that have happened over the past year. It's been another tremendously successful year for the association, so well done to all our members and everything, but Martin's just going to go through a few things.
Yeah, so for those of you who were here yesterday, I talked about the establishment of the ALT Assembly. So this time last year we agreed the Assembly, and that's been running since February, which has been a fantastic success. And we're also developing and now launching this week the new Associate and Senior CMALT accreditation pathways. That's also been a big achievement this year.
And also, we mentioned this yesterday, we've been celebrating a full network of member group. As Martin said, we have taken over the whole of the UK. Green definitely is the colour, so that's fantastic news. And I think, on a slightly more serious note, we continue to operate as an independent charity who are representing our members. And I think particularly in these uncertain times, I know that I certainly get a lot of support from this community, and that's down to all of you. So let's make that continue. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the next part of the agenda.
Okay, on to the kind of formal business. So we'd like to approve the minutes of the last general meeting, which was held in Manchester, 12th of September 2018. So can I have a proposer to approve those? Thank you, Peter. And a seconder? Lorna, thank you. And then we'll count the votes to approve those. I need to ask for votes for. Can I have the votes for to approve those? If you'd like to raise your, is it just raising hands to vote? Yes, sorry. It's the green card, is that okay? We've got cards. Thank you. Yes, let's appoint a teller. Oh yeah, we haven't got James Clay anymore, have we? It's always be James. Can I ask for a teller to count the votes, please? Thank you. It's you. You're appointed. Thank you. So let's do this properly. So can I ask for those in favour of approving the minutes of last year? If you can raise your green card, please.
Please keep your hands up. Your hands well up, please.
17. And we also have 5 proxy votes to count. Can I ask those who don't approve them to raise their hands? And any abstentions? None? Good, thank you very much. Next on to matters arising from the minutes of the last meeting. There are none really, but just to note that we voted on a new constitution last year, and that's now in effect. So that was approved last year and is now running. So to move on to the next item, which is our annual report and accounts, and this is where I'm pleased to hand over to Daniel.
Thank you. So I'm Daniel Clark, I'm the Honorary Treasurer of ALT, and it's my duty to present the annual accounts to you. I'm not going to go through page by page, you'll be delighted to know. And actually, in terms of the financial data, from my perspective, it's not especially exciting, which as Treasurer is a really good thing, because if it was exciting, we'd have a bit of a problem. What I did want to just sort of highlight is that there's a lot happening below the surface of the annual accounts. If I think about when I became Treasurer of ALT 4 years ago, we were still an organisation under the wing of Oxford Brookes, based there, following their processes, their financial controls and so on. And in the time since, as you know, we've moved to being an independent organisation, a charitable company, and that has meant a lot of change, and that's meant setting up a load of processes and controls and making sure that we can run as an independent organisation. Now, deliberately, that's not been especially visible to you, the members, because in the meantime, ALT keeps on delivering all the things you expect, but there has been an awful lot of work below the surface on that. And actually, this year, when our auditor started looking at the accounts, the first thing she did was come in partway through the year to have a look at those processes and see, whether they were running okay. Just to slightly put my audit geek hat on, that's not the main job of the auditor. Their job is to give an opinion on the financial statements, but as part of that, they will look at the process and can they be relied on, and anything that comes up in that work, they will flag to us, the trustees. Now, I'm pleased to say that, there were some minor things, but fundamentally, she was very happy with the process we had, made some recommendations, we've taken that on board. And at risk of embarrassing her, and she's wandering around there, I would particularly like to thank Jane for putting a colossal amount of work into setting all this up and making it run smoothly. Those of you who know Jane will know she's a very shy, retiring type of person who doesn't like the limelight and so on. But just for this point, I would like to thank her very much for the work that's gone into that. It's been really impressive. Thank you. So in terms of the actual financial results themselves, you'll see that we've got a small surplus this year, which is great. We're a charity, we're not aiming to make a surplus, but it's kind of nice when we do, because that means we can build up our reserves a little bit. We have total reserves as shown in the accounts of £227,000, of which, as we talked about last year, 160,000 the trustees have put aside to represent 6 months of our operating expenditure, so that if there was a sort of major emergency, we could sort of keep functioning in the short term. In terms of charities of our size, that's not huge. It's not a particularly large level, but we feel it's adequate to ensure our functioning. And as has been mentioned a couple of times already, these are uncertain times. Who knows what's going to happen with the political climate. So the really important thing from our perspective is that we have a sustainable funding model, that most of our funding now comes from member fees and events and things that we think are we're reasonably confident are going to recur, rather than things like grants from government, which are subject to political changes. So I think we as trustees feel confident that we're established on a sound financial footing. So that was what I was going to sort of draw your attention to. Are there any questions to do with the accounts anyone would like to ask, or financial policy? No. Okay. That's not okay. In that case, I will need we need to formally approve the annual report and accounts as the AGM, so I'll need a proposer and a seconder for that motion. So if I could have someone to propose that Matt, thank you. Matt. Yeah. And if I could have a seconder to check down here. Check down here. Thank you. Okay. And then we put that to the vote. So those in favour of accepting the annual accounts? A couple of things up. Do we have a teller?
You could just let me use your hand up. Can one of you count as well? We both count and come back.
Okay. I thought you were counting.
I thought Martin was.
Okay.
So we've got 33, 4, and
Okay.
5 proxy votes.
Okay. And votes against? One. Sorry. Okay.
Can we just
And-
try that again?
Okay. So any votes against? Okay. And abstentions? One. Okay. Thank you. So the motion's carried.
Thank you, and I'd like to offer our thanks to Daniel again for another excellent year acting as a financial advisor on the board. So moving on to the award of honorary life membership, I'd like to invite trustee. Sorry. I thought we'd done that. Sorry. Skip. Okay, sorry. So we do need to agree to appoint the auditors for the 2019-2020 accounts, and these will be again David Cadwallader and Co. And so I'd like a proposer for that. Peter. I'm going to ask for a teller because we weren't very good at counting last time. So, sorry, who is the seconder of that?
Yeah. Can you just say your surname as well? Taylor, Sam Taylor. Thank you.
Yeah, can I have a teller for this as well? Who likes counting? You're going to count again, Mary. Okay. Okay, you're good at counting. Okay, good, thank you. So, all those in favour of the reappointment of the auditors? (29) with 5 proxy votes. All those against? 0. And abstentions? 1. Good, thank you. So that's approved. Thank you. So now I move on to the next part that I should have done before. So the award of honorary life membership, I'm going to invite our trustee Lorna Campbell up to present this year's award, who's made an outstanding contribution to the advancement of all aims. So Lorna.
Thank you, Martin. It's a real pleasure to be invited to present this award this year. ALT awards honorary life membership to individuals nominated by members who have made an outstanding and sustained contribution to the advancement of ALT's aims for the development of learning technology in a regional, national or international context through research, practice, policy development, leadership, or a combination of all of these. And the person that we're going to be awarding honorary life membership to today is somebody who really embodies ALT's core values of participation, openness, collaboration, and independence. And that is Frances Bell. I'd just like to say a little bit about Frances' contribution to ALT. So Frances has been active in promoting research and open education in ALT, acting as an editor of research and learning technology, and a tireless peer reviewer for both research, publications and conferences. And I personally owe a huge debt of gratitude to Frances for overseeing the peer review of the papers for the OER 16 conference, which Melissa and I had the honour of chairing here in Edinburgh a number of years ago. Now, Frances' nomination was actually put forward by Catherine Cronin, who can't be here today. So I'd just like to read a few words from Catherine. What a joy to see Frances Bell, who exemplifies active, engaged and generous scholarship, combined with an ethic of care, being recognised with this honorary life membership awarded by ALT. As evidenced in her lifetime of work, Frances has combined her disciplinary expertise in information systems with historical and social justice perspectives to unflinchingly consider issues of equity in both higher education and the wider society. Uniquely, Frances sustains connections with people across higher education, local communities, and creative networks in ways which help to bridge differences without ignoring them, and thus enabling understanding. Within and beyond ALT, we have much to thank her for. So please join me now in congratulating Frances for this award.
So I'm really honoured to receive this award from ALT. It's an organisation that I greatly respect. And part of the reason that I got the award, I think, was working with FemEdTech, and even if it wasn't, I'm going to promote it here for you. So working with FemEdTech is a genuine pleasure. I see the recognition that I've received as shared with the FemEdTech curators and all participants, and I'd recommend that you find out more about it. Just go to femedtech.net and talk to any of us who might be wearing a badge, and we can tell you all about it. But another point I'd like to make is that I'd recommend that any of you who haven't already done so to consider participating in ALT Awards. So that could be, the Learning Technology of the Year Awards, the nominations for Honorary Life Memberships, CMALT, because I think there's something really special about the way that ALT conducts these awards. So if you haven't participated as a nominator, an applicant or a supporter, I really would encourage you to do so. And what I feel about these processes to do with the ALT Awards is that they are generative processes. They're not just pinning a label on somebody. They really make a difference. And if you want to ask me more about that later, I can explain it in further detail. Okay, thank you.
So the next part of the agenda is the announcement and results of the trustee elections, new appointments, and thanks to trustees who are departing or have come to the end of their term. So first off, I'm going to announce the results of the elections. But just before I do that, I just want to say that we have two trustees who are continuing with their term of service. That's Lorna Campbell and Bella Abrams. So we're delighted that they're staying on as trustees. And now to the results of the elections. We were delighted by the interest this year in the elections. It was really strong. We had 8 candidates who stood, which was fantastic to see that, and to see the international interest in our community as well. But I am delighted that I can announce that our 2 new trustees who are in the room today are Sharon Flynn and Natalie Lafferty. So maybe you could stand up and say hello to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. So welcome on board. We also have an appointment of a new vice chair, and I'm delighted again, the person is in the room, and that is Professor Keith Smythe. So Keith, do you want to stand up and say hello to everyone? So that's great. And our Board of Trustees have approved that. We went through a new process this year. We had a very high level of interest. We had a very positive recruitment process for that, and we're delighted that we've got Keith for that. And I'll pass over to Martin.
Thank you. So I just want to give thanks to those trustees who have ended their term, who are Nicola Whitton and Sarah Sherman. And I think Sarah's watching online, so wherever the camera is. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate your work.
So I think that as all, we've done the official business now, haven't we, Marion? So now we get on to another fun bit, or, you know, just a recognition of the hard work for the many members in the community who have gained their CMALT this year. So we're going to have our CMALT ceremony. And now I think we've got some certificates. We've got people, so Marion's going to read people's names out, and I'm going to give you your certificate. Obviously, you can tell this has been really well planned, and I've forgotten everything that I was told to do. But we'll just get the certificates, and then we'll... And if you are going to get your CMALT, if you're, hopefully you're all quite near the front anyway.
So yeah, do please come up. And first up is Naomi Beckett. Next up, we're welcoming Nijas Bawadi, who please come to the stage as well, if you're here. We're going to move right on, and I think UHI's very own Andy Blackhall. Andy, are you here? And next comes Ian Blacklock. Ian, are you in the room? Please come to the front. And then also, I think one of our presenters from today earlier, John Brindle. John. And next up, Alex Burford. Alex, welcome to the stage. Also, senior CMALT holder, Matt Cornock. Matt, please come forward. Richard is up next. Richard, are you here with us? Are you coming forward? Possibly. In his absence, still congratulating. And Craig Dooley. I think in his absence, we're going to send Craig his certificate to one of his colleagues who is here to pick it up. But I'm hoping Amy Isle might be in the room. Well, okay. Now, a very special award, and I think the only associate CMALT holder who is joining us for the ceremony today is Rachel Hartshorn. So Rachel, welcome. And then a very special announcement for us to make. Martin Hawksey. And also, within the past year, this conference co-chair and one of the first senior CMALT holders, Melissa Heighton. Now, I hope that this name is going to be forgiving to me. I did not practice that, so I'm going to go for Shoshi. I hope you're in the room. If you're with us, we might send you congratulations virtually and instead go to Danielle Johnstone. Danielle is here with us, fantastic. And also Anshul Lau. Anshul. Earlier, I think we've all seen Blaneth McSherry. So Blaneth, welcome back to the stage. Rochelle, is she with us? No. In that case, we're going to hopefully move on to Diana Stevanescu. Welcome. And especially included, as we missed her out last year, Sam Taylor, everyone. And I think the bearer of many CMALT certificates that are going back to Ireland, Claire Thompson. So everybody, this is this year's newest conference attending certified members. If you could all come into the middle of the stage, we will give you a very warm congratulations on your achievements. These are our certified members 2019.